Hi, my loves, and welcome back to Ocean Aura. My name is Phoenyxx Rose, but you can call me Phoenix, or you can call me Jocelyn, or you can call me Ocean. Honey, I got AKAs for days, and I'm coming at you with my favorite. Hypergamy. 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 Chat. Let's get into it. This video was inspired by a quick video I watched. And listen, if you don't know what hypergamy is, please go Google it. If you want to understand my take on hypergamy, which I like to call spiritual hypergamy, baby, you can refer to some other videos I've done. I did a video on the spirituality of dating up. It was an older video, like when I first came out with my YouTube channel, but the content is still good, baby. The word is still the word. So you can go check that out. But let's get into today's topic. So what actually inspired this video, and I'm going to try to make these short, guys. So what inspired this video was me watching Jason Weaver, who was the voice actor, the singer for the singing parts of The Lion King, the one that came out in 1994. And I loved this story about how he said that his mom, like they were all excited because they heard how much money he was going to get for the movie. And then they realized, like, you know, his mom was like, wait, hang on. I think we should fight for royalty rights, right? Because she was playing the long game. She's like, hang on, this is Disney. They're going to, you know, put this to VHS, because, you know, back in the day, y'all. So VHS, and, you know, this is going to be around forever. So we should fight for royalty rights. And so it sparked in me the idea about, you know, playing the long game. Like he played the long game. They played the long game. Like, oh yeah, 1 million. I believe he said it was like $1 million. $1 million sounds so good right now, right? Or however much it was. You know, it sounds so good right now. And this is like in 1994, okay? You know, so he's like, you know, regular people, this wonderful thing happened in my career, you know, that sounds like really good for us. And he's like, but to play the long game. She's like, yeah, but what about when my son's 40, right? So he said throughout his life, sometimes those Disney checks coming in the mail were like, yes. And that was from making the investment in playing the long game and not just accepting the first deal. So boom, here we go. The title of this video is Playing the Long Game. Now, at first blush, this sounds like, oh, you don't care. Yes, look at the tactful, deceitful, la la la. Y'all, whatever. This is your life. Okay, my ladies? This is your life we're talking about. We're not talking about something you can replace later. We're talking about your life. So let's get into it. You know, so I'm going to go into my notes because, like, y'all, I was just, like, getting so inspired. And so for the next couple of these hypergamy videos, you'll see me, like, going into my notes because, y'all, I was just catching word after word after word. So let's get into it. So don't throw away the next 40 plus years of your life satisfying an immediate desire, right? Like an immediate, seeking immediate gratification, right? Instant gratification. You have to play the long game. What feels good right now, what sounds good right now, may not look cute in 20 years, right? So we want to be mindful about the life we're creating. We want to be mindful about what we want our lives to look like. And it does require a level of strategy, a certain amount of strategy in terms of what choices am I making? Am I making choices that serve my real long-term goals, my real long-term interests, right? Of building this life that I say I want for myself? Or am I just trying to satisfy my instant gratification urges? You know, am I just trying to hurry up and scratch an itch? These are important things to ask ourselves, especially us ladies. I'm telling you now, women bear more. We do more. It takes us longer to get ready. The world demands more of us to look presentable when we go out into the streets. Our haircuts don't cost 12 Zolas, okay? Don't cost $20 to get our hair done. It's a different investment when you're a woman. And so you should always keep that in mind when you are seeking a mate. So also go check out my mate selection is key video, because I will be posting that soon. So if it's not already up, be on the lookout. Listen, y'all, I'm going hard in this one. Stop being led by your penis and your vaginas, okay? Stop being led by your penis and your vaginas. Just like Cardi B said, broke boys don't get no pussy. Pardon my language, guys. It's the truth, okay? No money, no honey. Y'all already know how I feel about this. My grandfather used to say it all the time. No money, no honey. He used to tell all my male cousins, my brother, listen, y'all better get it together. Don't go looking for a woman if you don't have no money. No money, no honey. So I'm just letting y'all know. And the reason why I say stop being led by those things is because good sex won't pay your bills. Good sex does not guarantee fidelity. So good sex should not be the only merit that holds up a relationship. I'm not telling y'all to go out here and have whack, boring, dry, yuck, oh my gosh, is it over yet sex, okay? I'm not telling you that, okay? I'm not frigid, y'all. But what I'm saying is, my honey is expensive. It's not for sale, but it's expensive. And that video will be coming up as well. It's in the works, okay? My honey is expensive. And so, because I pour into myself, because I love myself, because I am working so diligently on myself and giving myself all the love and care I feel I deserve. So when people step to the line, they can't shortchange me. And when I'm thinking about what mate I'm looking for, what I'm looking for in a man, these are the things I'm considering. Can he give it to me good is not at the top of my list, because that is, there's a plethora of that. There is an excess of good toxic D all around. You can go get you some good, get somebody to put it on you, and you still will be lacking all of the other things, right? So don't let somebody do it to you so good that they knock the sense right on out of you, and you don't, and you lose all your standards in the process. You start excusing things that are clear warning signs and red flags. When you start backpedaling on your boundaries, on your non-negotiables, okay? Ladies, we have to care for ourselves. And don't worry about what anyone else has to say about it. Worry about you. Worry about you. Because you are going to be the one that has to wake up and go to sleep to all of those decisions. Instead of looking for like good sex to be the very first thing, like, why don't you make the top priorities good character? Like, start looking for good character that will endure and stand the test of time, right? Like, what is your character? Because your character, a man's character is that thing that's going to show up when life starts to happen, right? When the natural ebb and flow of life happens and challenging times present themselves, You need to really think about these things, because women often develop standards too late. It's like, that man showed you he was not going to be a provider. That man showed you early on that he was not interested in anything but your goodies. That man showed you that he was not responsible, that he was not capable, that he was not, and I don't want to say not capable, but that he was not investing in himself, right? That he was working far below his capabilities. He was in a comfort zone, right? waiting for you to take care of him. He showed you all these things in the beginning, and then you wait until you are like stuck with him, you know, stuck in a lease, stuck in a bad marriage, stuck with babies, to then be like, you need to be, and now all of a sudden you're putting your foot down and you have all of these standards, but you didn't demand these things in the beginning. And so it's not a judgment, it's a fact, okay? And if you already did it, I'm not saying the rest of your life is over, I'm saying so now, either make that your standard and figure out if he want to step or not, and be prepared, because he might want to step, because you the one who changed the rules now, because you said all those things were cool from the jump. Or when you are entering your next relationship, especially if you have little ones in tow, you are vetting someone to not only be your person, but to be the father figure or man in the household for those kids. Okay, it's not a replacement for their original father. It's saying that that's the man that's going to be in your house with them a lot of the time. And so it can't just be about you and what you want to get done down there. Understand? It's bigger than that. Like, level up your expectations. Level up what you expect someone to deliver to you. Level up what you expect from yourself, right? And do that from the very beginning, So that way there's no mincing of words. You know, no one's like caught off guard, like, well, what do you mean? Y'all know I'm gonna go into my default dusty voice. What do you mean? And then they start giving you all these excuses, and it's like, my ears, I don't know what you're saying, right? Like, be deaf to anyone trying to shortchange you, anyone trying to sell you on less than what you deserve. No, absolutely not, ladies. Like, stop being satisfied with the bare minimum. And I can talk like this, y'all, because I have been a full-blown pick-me. So I can talk like this because I don't do it anymore, because I refuse to do it. So don't just be going for whatever, okay? Stop being satisfied with scraps, with table scraps, with the bare minimum, with someone barely even attempting to make an effort with you. And stop, celebrating these table scraps like they are grand gestures of effort and affection, because it's not what it is. It's not, Stop with all the pick-me tall tales you're telling yourself, like, no, he really went out of his way to take me to coffee. What? Okay, scoot in, boo. I want to ask you a question, my love. How much is your foundation? Even if you go buy a drugstore brand, still more than your cup of coffee. Excuse me? Excuse me? That's not a grand gesture. That doesn't take very much effort and planning and, courting you. You are the prize. So that's just an example, but still a good one, boo. Taking the first deal that looks good in comparison to past trauma is the equivalent of making, is not the equivalent of making a good choice, right? Like someone offering you something that just looks better than the last messy thing you just got out of, right? Like, in comparison is better than that, but it's still not hitting a standard of what you really deserve, of what you really should be asking for, right? And what we accept from people is an exact equal proportion to what we believe we deserve. That's why inner work, self-love, inner healing, all of those things are like paramount. They are so clutch, my loves, because they create the boundaries that are necessary to make sure no one can step to the line and shortchange you. So don't talk yourself into overselling to yourself or allowing somebody to oversell to you the bare minimum, as if you're getting the full, you know, red carpet treatment, right? Because it looks like that in comparison to something that was probably really toxic. It doesn't mean that that is a step up. You know, it might be a step in the right direction or a step away from what you used to deal with in the past, or a previous toxic relationship, but it doesn't equate a healthy relationship. It doesn't equate someone who's really interested in you. It doesn't equate a man who's really going to make an investment in you. And so it's very, very important not to confuse those things, and not to let that dusty situation be the metric system you use. Like, well, at least he's not calling me out of my name. Well, at least he's not, you know, I mean, at least he has a job, but he's very complacent and he has no aspirations of really building a life with you, you know, very much so still in this, like, I'm a young, you know, high school dude with no real responsibilities. Because having a woman is a responsibility. It is. It is. And if you're not financially prepared to have one, you shouldn't be trying to court a woman. Do you have money to go on dates? I'm just saying. People are gonna be like, I don't care. I said what I said. Oh, this was good. If you continue to run away from yourself and the things that you need to face, and really those things in particular, like, you know, any past traumas that you need to heal, any, you know, self-worth or you know, any sort of values or standards, any of those sorts of things, those things should be done in spiritual solitude, for real. Like, if you just absolutely don't know how to be by yourself, that should be a red flag to you. Seriously, my loves, I say this with so much love and consideration in my heart, that if you don't know how to be by yourself, if you don't enjoy your own company, why are you so in a rush to want someone to want to be in your company, and you don't want to be in your own company? Because when you make decisions from that space, I just don't want to be alone, it bumps down what your standards are. It increases your threshold on what you're willing to accept, because you're like, well, it's better than being alone, I guess. Or I just really need somebody. You need yourself. You need yourself more than you need anybody in this world. Okay? And if you continue to like avoid those things, you're going to run into them over and over again. And normally they will appear, those things that you need to face, those things that you need to build up within yourself, they will appear in the person that shows up in your life. They will manifest in your partner. You got an issue with talking kindly to yourself, you might manifest a partner that talks to you very badly. You feel like you're not good enough, and you know, you're not pleased with yourself, and you're always judging yourself harshly. You might manifest a partner that talks to you like that and judges you harshly. So be mindful of those things, because what we do to ourselves, we allow others to do to us as well, right? And people need our consent to do things to us. They need our consent first. We need to love ourselves, because it's such a crazy world out here, my loves. It can be so dangerous for a woman. And so these things that seem like it's like superficial, surface level, shallow things. It's not. It's your armor. It's your feminine armor. I arm myself with standards. I arm myself with self-love. I arm myself with high expectations. I do. Because I am deserving of all of those things. And if it doesn't show up in that partner, you will create those things on that same frequency of the things you don't like. People will mirror back to you what's really going on inside, you know? So really get to the core of what it is you think you deserve and why you think you deserve that. And if you find that it's not enough, or it's like, wow, I'm treating myself like I don't deserve good things, then that is a clear boop, 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 boop indication that you need to spend some time with yourself, get up with yourself, practice some self-care and self-love, do your inner healing work, do the work so that someone can show up and you can sit back in your divine feminine receptivity and allow yourself to receive all that good that you deserve. And then you will innately give off that wonderful, beautiful, nurturing energy that your divine masculine will be attracted to, okay? You know, I don't even want to say try your best. Just stop making decisions that enter you into lifelong, long-term contracts with people who you don't really know and you did not properly vet to be in your life. Like, it's crazy to me when people just willy-nilly, you know, even to get married. I mean, and at the very least, if you're going to do anything, just get married, because at least you could sign a paper and be done with it. And you never have to see that person again. But when we make children, when we create people, that's somebody you're really going to have to deal with for a long time. Even if you break up and you don't want to deal with each other. Listen, graduations, drop-off pickups while they're kids, graduations, every big life event, grandkids birthday parties, everything, you'll still somehow, some way have this person in your vicinity in your life. You need to properly vet people, right? It doesn't guarantee success, but it increases your odds for success. And I said, and how about you actually start vetting a person before you enter into these binding decisions? Stop being so enthralled in how you feel. Feelings change, but these decisions last. Yes, girl, yes. Talking to myself. Your feeling might leave, right? Because when life starts to get real, the last thing y'all are talking about is how much you love each other, how passionate, how deep this connection is, right? Telling y'all right now, these decisions are the things that last. Feelings can change. You might go through a gap in your relationship where like the feelings aren't really there, and that's something you have to work through. And that decision will last too. Do I stay and work through it? Do I leave? And all that takes discernment. So you can't just operate purely out of logic, but you can't operate purely out of feelings either. You're setting yourself up for disaster, honey, for disaster. You know, ask yourself, what real chance does this connection have at aging well? Is this a good investment? Right? Like, will this age well? You know, like when you watch a movie and it was like the bomb back when you watched it, and then you watch it like 2-3 years later, or you watch it like 10 years later, and you're like, this is awful. Like, it didn't age well, right? And then there are some that are classics. Like, it's a tale as old as time, baby. This is a classic. It'll never go out of style, okay? They'll play this on like a holographic machine, you know, in the future. It'll be like the Jetsons. But guess what? That movie's still gonna hit. That's how you want your relationships to be. That it looks good at every age. That it feels good at every age. You know, it's not that it's always gonna look good and feel good, but you know what I mean. Like, it endures. You can evolve together. You can grow together. And some people give you the very clear warning flag that they are not that person, and that will not be for you. Woo, let's roll through these, because y'all wrote a lot. Because you know if this person has drive, vision, intellect, good character, if they show signs of being responsible, or if they honor their commitments, right? Do they show up for themselves, etc.? You know from the beginning. They show you over and over again. And sometimes it's your feelings that end up creating a veneer over that. Stop dating potential and banking on your fantasy and deal with what's really in front of you. Okay? I'm not saying that people should not have the opportunity and space to grow. But I'm saying is they shouldn't have that far to grow once you're ready to merge your life with someone else's and really seriously take it from seriously dating to really like building a life together. And even to get into the serious dating part, they should show promise in that, not potential. There should be clear signs of like, you have a promising future, sir. You already are where you should be to be even looking for a woman right now. How wonderful. Yes, costs to be the boss. Happy wife, happy life. Pay attention in the beginning with what's not sitting well with you, my loves. You know, the things that your passions and feelings are letting slide are going to be the very same things that make you want to leave. They'll be the very same things why you end up leaving, or why they end up leaving, or why you guys end up breaking up. It'll be the same reasons. It could be 20 plus years down the line. I'll never get, my aunt told me this and I was like, wow, that's a word. It could be 20 plus years later and it'll be those very same things in the beginning that you saw that'll be like, not working. Not working. No, thank you. Don't want it. Okay? So save yourself 20 years. Play the long game. Stop being short-sighted with your life, right? Because these decisions are about your life, my loves. This is about your life, okay? So don't be short-sighted about your life. Like some people really plan out their careers, right? Or they really like plan out this and plan out that, and or have like really high standards about like what kind of phone they're going to invest in buying in. But you don't do that with your life, because we are talking about your life, right? The life you're going to share with someone. That's such a deeply important thing to bear in mind and to treat like the priority it should be treated at. It should be given the respect it deserves. And I know feelings are real, feelings are ill. It will get you tripped up. And that's why you have to learn how to be discerning so that you don't make lifelong decisions on what you feel in the immediate. Gotta be facts over feelings, my loves. Get very clear with yourself and separate your feelings from the facts. When you do this, the truth will be there. Oh, girl, it was a word. It was a word. The truth will be there. Right? You can love somebody and love somebody, but then you see like, oh wow, you really just don't show up for yourself. Wow, you really like don't honor your commitments, and you really you're playing a lot of games with me. And oh wow, it'll save you time. It will save you time. It will save you from someone wasting your time, my loves. Because let me tell you something, a lot of men are getting off just coasting, and they're getting all the goodies. They're reaping all the benefits. They're getting all the best years of your life, and they are coasting, and then you're left holding the bag. Just saying. It all comes down to, and will always come back to, how you feel about yourself and what you think you deserve. It is so true. It is so true, my loves. Like truly at a core level, what you believe you deserve, what you feel you deserve, it will always circle back to that and be reflected back to you in the relationships that you keep. And that can also be in friendships, in business, you know, at your job, you know, like how are you allowing people to treat you? But specifically, since this is a hypergamy video, specifically how a man treats you, my love, and what treatment you're willing to accept. You know, these things sound like they sound like cheesy little cliches, but it's the truth. You teach people how to treat you. And the curriculum you're going by when you're teaching people how to treat you is how you feel about yourself. You know, visualize, this is my last thing, visualize where you want to be in the next 5 to 10 years. And then ask yourself, you know, and what you would like your life to look like. And then ask yourself, is this person an asset to that vision or a liability? And use your big brain for this one, okay? I'm just saying, you guys, it's like clutch. Picture and envision the life you want to create. And if you're actively creating it, how lovely, good for you. So now think about that, and now measure that up against the person who's trying to court you, or the person you're allowing in your space and in your life. And then truly ask yourself with the facts, is this person an asset or a liability? Okay, my love, so I'm going to leave it there. I'm wishing you mad love and many blessings. You count, you matter, you are important, you are seen, you're heard, you're worthy, you're deserving, you are magic, baby. Go get up in it. And I'll see you on the next one. Later.